It's no ancient Templar secret the AAA industry is an exercise in finding new and inventive ways to fix what ain't fucking broken, but few franchises have exemplified this corporate syndrome like Assassin's Creed. I'll level with you guys, I love Assassin's Creed 1. It remains one of my favorite eternally replayed stealth experiences to date, and I'm utterly unrepentant in proclaiming so. But what in 15 fucking fucks has happened to this series? I call it the Arkham effect, but you can easily apply it to any AAA effort to eclipse 5 million in fucking sales. After Arkham Asylum, the industry was instantly awash in free-flow combat and collect the flaggetry to upgrade your goddamn character. The Last of Us launched an entire era of maudlin movie sob scenes and chest-high, ankle-deep wall stealth, and after a certain success of a wild hunt in 2015, Assassin's Creed fell clean out of the Witcher 3 tree and smacked every plagiarized branch on the way down. From the shallow but still atmospheric social stealth of earlier offerings to a thimble-deep open-world base-building RPG with a wedged-in emphasis on historical fantasy and fucking, Assassin's Creed bears not the faintest fucking resemblance to its former repute. You can crow about the self-evident shortcomings of the inaugural Assassin's Creed all you like, and certainly it's more repetitive than a grindcore breakdown, but the first game had fucking magic. Every assassination was impactful, every scenario carried weight, and every environment was utterly and eminently memorable. I can recount to you in detail every solitary assassination in that game, from conception to completion and the many permutations thereof. Assassin's Creed 2, and certainly the modern sequels, not so fucking much, and now we know why. As in anticipation of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the latest attempt to glom on to other entertainment properties, in this case Netflix fodder like Vikings and The Last Kingdom, whose only commonality is being nothing the fuck like what made Assassin's Creed kick ass to begin with, Ubisoft parted their oblivious maw and proffered their opinions on the evolution of the series in an article exclusively on IGN.com, and instantly betrayed to me exactly why Assassin's Creed has jettisoned the plot into outer fucking space. The first hint at the developer's skull-splitting stupidity comes almost immediately, when they offer a post-mortem of the original title. A title, I'd remind you, that remained the best-selling game in the series for over a half fucking decade. Yes, selling considerably better than the second game everyone soils their Jade Raymond underoos over. Quote, "A lot of the actual missions we were asking the players to do in the original were not relying on the strength of the game, that being parkour and wall climbing," Guidon says, who was a game designer for Assassin's Creed 2. "And so we said, okay, we need to use that as a gameplay block during missions," unquote. And this is half the fucking issue in Assassin's Creed 2. In lieu of plotting out each assassination to be both open-ended and memorable, as in the original, the second Assassin's Creed sacrificed the artistry of assassination for interchangeable wall climb and cock shit. I played the second game almost as much as the original, and yet I can faintly fucking recall a single assassination scenario contained therein. I have a vague recollection of chasing a Catholic bishop down a spiral staircase to carve his carotid like a ripe Christmas ham, but for all I know, that's a repressed memory from fucking Bible camp. You can love Assassin's Creed 2 all you like. I'd argue it's from here the syndrome originally spread. Look, I love Assassin's Creed 2, and even argue it's an improvement in every other solitary respect, save perhaps annoying-ass Ezio, who started out as a welcome change from Altair's taciturn histrionics before wearing out his welcome like a pit-stained vacuum salesman we let into the franchise's front parlor and then couldn't figure out how to get him to goddamn leave. And that's without even indulging in the idiotic ancient aliens horseshit they wrote in and then wrote out again inside of two titty fucking games. For all the praise heaped upon Assassin's Creed 2, the soul was sucked out then and there, and I'd argue it's the animus that facilitated all of it. One of my very first fucking rants, in fact, argued that if they'd stuck to the original Assassin in the Holy Land, shanking Saracens and Crusaders alike concept, sans sci-fi bullshit, it would have been drastically improved in both the short and the longer term. And then came the tacked on minigames. Brotherhood's base building gave way to yet more base building in Revelations. After all, what better way to make the player feel like a lone instrument of historical vengeance? Like playing Civilization with a cringy army of aimless NPCs, seasoned cities you'll never see, let alone give the faintest flying fuck about. Assassins. By Assassin's Creed 3, the team was so preoccupied with pirate ships and historical revisionism, by the time it tore you away to play as the actual protagonist, most quit playing due to a lack of fucking interest, or, their console being bricked by the 50,000th game-breaking goddamn glitch. By then, series creator Patrice Desilets had long since been booted out of the company to work on a Leslie Jones simulator, and Assassin's Creed was cranking out cash-ins on an annual basis, leading to a living death that culminated in a third Assassin's Creed title that sold more copies than any Assassin's Creed game before or since, which, believe it or not, was actually the worst thing that could have happened to the franchise. I've said it before, and I'll repeat for posterity. The only thing worse for a franchise than a shitty sequel that no one buys is a shitty sequel that everyone buys. In theory, a 70% improvement over the previous game's sales seems like a win however you slice it. In practice, Assassin's Creed 3 was so staggeringly, cuntingly awful, the fact that everyone played it and was instantly repulsed by the product did irreparable damage to the property and thus adversely affect the sales of later, otherwise entertaining entries in this series. Indeed, every game after Assassin's Creed 3 would sell fewer copies than it did, a trend that persists to the present day despite an install base larger than the Xbox 360 and PS3s by an order of magnitude. Quote, just this feeling of being on a ship firing the cannons and everything was something really powerful that we knew we had to explore, Assassin's Creed 3 producer LaFerriere says. It branched off very quickly from a prototype to, okay, let's include it in the game and let's give the Singapore team this awesome mandate. So that's how it came to life, and the rest is history, unquote. And just like that, the Assassin's Creed series was suddenly about fucking pirates, which honestly brings me to the core malady of the modern franchise. Just 'cause something is fun don't mean it belongs in an Assassin's Creed title. And so we enter the modern era, whereupon Assassin's Creed 4, a great goddamn pirate game, and frankly fucking horrendous stealth assassination sim, led to the franchise's present configuration as a glorified bag of holding for every half-assed, errant AAA trend Ubisoft could print a few pesos out of. From Syndicate with its Batman Arkham ass cancer and cringy steampunk trannies, to Witcher's Creed Odyssey with its Greek orgies and motherfucking Medusa fights, scarcely a fashion trend in all of gamerdom has yet to subsume Assassin's Creed's once pioneering format. Assassin's Creed 1 wasn't perfect, but its blend of social stealth, regular stealth, swordplay, and parkour was unlike anything else on the market, and with a proper embrace of historical fiction, medieval history, memorable assassinations, and stealth atmosphere, the true gameplay pillars, not fucking parkour, it may well have snowballed into something truly exceptional down the line. And unlike the latest labeling of modern mediocrity they're slapping Assassin's Creed logos on these days, something that would stand utterly apart in the industry. No less commercial, I'd argue. The first game sold like gold-plated pussy after all, but at the same time artistic and unique. Even after plummeting sales, piracy, and an annual pause to collect themselves and reassess what actually worked in the series, it's abundantly clear Ubisoft have yet to learn the most important lesson of all. To try to be everything to everyone is to be nothing to anyone. If you're a receptacle of everything, there's no room to be anything of your own. Ask Mia Khalifa's cunt. I'm Razor Fist. God fucking speed.